Welcome to the Restricted Handling Podcast's What's Coming Up Next Week in the World. We're looking at the week of February 1st through February 7th, 2026, and it's a loaded slate across the geopolitical arena. Let's get into it. Kicking things off on Sunday, we've got Ukraine, Russia, and the US back in the same room. Peace talks are resuming in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, you heard that right. The desert might be the place where the first real movement on ending this war happens in years. Now, don't expect hugs and handshakes just yet. This is going to be laser-focused on territory, especially Donbass. Russia's not letting go of that easily, but with the US helping broker this, definitely one to watch. Even if it's baby steps, it's steps. Also on Sunday, OPEC Plus ministers, that's your oil powerhouses like Saudi Arabia and yes, Russia, are dialing into a virtual meeting. They're not expected to shift production, but these countries control half the world's oil, so their mood always matters. With prices creeping up, they'll probably sit tight. Russia's economy is basically an oil pipeline wearing a fur hat at this point, so this matters more than Moscow would admit. And one more for Sunday. The European Union's new oil price cap on Russian crude kicks in. It's dropping to $44 a barrel. Now, the Kremlin's already crying foul, but Ural's crude is hovering right around that number anyway. Still, it puts more financial squeeze on Russia, and they hate being outplayed on economics. Expect some saber rattling in response, even if it's just rhetorical for now. Tuesday, all eyes shift to Dubai for the World Government Summit. It's basically the Davos of the desert. Over 150 countries, 35 heads of state, and every international acronym you can think of in one place. It'll be all about future governance, AI, energy, and maybe a quiet hallway meeting or two. No breakthroughs expected, but when you pack that many power suits into one venue, interesting things can happen. Wednesday in Rome, Italy's interior minister is taking questions on that weird little Olympics dust-up with the US. If you missed it, American ICE agents were tapped to help with security at the Milan Games, and Italians weren't exactly thrilled. This is a political cleanup job. The minister's going to say it's all under control and probably tell everyone to chill. But if you hear anything about foreign boots on the ground, it's this story. Thursday is a big one. First off, the New START nuclear arms treaty between the US and Russia officially expires. That means, for the first time since the Cold War's big hair and bad jackets, there are no limits on nukes. None. Zip. This is a huge deal, and both sides will be pointing fingers like it's a Thanksgiving family fight. It doesn't mean new missiles are launching tomorrow, but it's definitely a return to Cold War vibes, minus the Berlin Wall, and with more cyber warfare. Also Thursday, the European Central Bank and the Bank of England both drop interest rate decisions. The ECB's likely holding steady, the Eurozone inflation monsters mostly tamed. The Bank of England? Same story, though UK inflation's still the rowdiest in the G7. Central bankers are in that weird holding pattern, watching the data but not blinking just yet. Friday brings the Milan Winter Olympics opening ceremony. San Siro will be packed, the fireworks will be massive, and the security will be tight. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Rubio are leading the U.S. delegation, which is already stirring political commentary. Oh, and protests are brewing too. Ice out. Rallies are planned. Expect the ceremony itself to be apolitical, but don't expect everyone to play nice outside the stadium. Also, Friday, the U.S. jobs report drops. Always a market mover. It'll show whether the economy's still cruising or hitting speed bumps. If hiring cools off too fast, the Fed might start sweating, and so will everyone from Wall Street to the Kremlin, since the global economy's still dealing with the fallout from a war that's lasted longer than most Netflix originals. And that's your next week. Stay sharp, stay skeptical, and we'll catch you next Thursday with another look ahead. Thanks for listening and being part of the RH community. Please take a moment to leave a 5-star review. If you want to see some changes, email us at info@restrictedhandling.com. We also publish a daily written intel brief on Substack, where you'll find even deeper coverage of Russia and China, along with insights on Iran, the Middle East, and the DPRK.